everybody. This is Jim Cornette, pro wrestling legend, and you're listening to the Book in the Territory Unprofessional Wrestling Podcast.
This is the artist formerly known as Daryl Van Horn, James Mitchell, the Sinister Minister, and I'm here to let you know I would rather slam my cock in a car door than to miss the dulcet tones of Hard Body Harper, my illegitimate son, on Booking the Territory podcast.
Welcome back, everyone, to this week's episode of our Smoky Mountain Rasslin podcast. This is Smoky Mountain Wrestling, episode 131 from July the 30th of 1994. And this is Booking the Territory, the unprofessional wrestling podcast where anything goes. So, Doc, how are you, man?
This one's going to be short.
Nah. Hopper?
I'm doing great. This is the best episode ever.
So what these two hooligans are getting at is this episode was essentially
a big promo.
This episode was a commercial, is what it was. This episode was like an infomercial, like a 30-minute infomercial you used to see on a Sunday morning back in the day when there was only, X amount of channels on TV. But that's all this episode is. It's just a big commercial.
Where are you living? They still run that shit now.
Yeah, fucking Larry King does one, and they disguise it to make it look like a talk show.
Okay, hold on. I know they do them now. They do them on that channel that ROH comes on, Doc. But my point is,
just because you're using your welfare check to have enough channels to avoid that shit doesn't mean it's not happening.
You know what? Fuck you, man. I'm trying to make a point here that this shit was on some channel, ABC, CBS, NBC affiliate, or Fox affiliate, or the Fox station in the Smoky Mountains. Because, trust me, where this shit's going, these people ain't got no fucking cable, asshole, all right? I know they do the shit now on cable. I'm not a fucking moron like you.
Remember when they had the guy with the spray paint? He was spray painting his fucking hair, spray painting his head. Remember that shit? No? That was like the first fucking infomercial. The guy, it was the fucking spray paint, and you would spray it on your bald spot, and it would... Like magic hair would pop up.
Oh, I remember that one, Harper. That was you want to talk about the biggest... I wish I knew the name of that because I was looking for that infomercial one day. Yeah,
I want to do it like as a joke.
And is it when you were going bald and worried that you couldn't get any bookings as a bald wrestler?
Doc, I don't think you realize this infomercial... They had these poor bastards on there, these saps on there that were losing their hair and had bald spots and whatnot. And it literally looked like a can of spray paint. And they were like,
so let me
why
ask
go
you
with
something.
Rogaine? Why go with this? Why go with that? And they sprayed this shit in these guys' hair and head. And it really did look like it grew new hair. And I was like, what kind of trick photography is that shit?
If I don't like recaps and shows on products that I like, what's the likelihood of me watching a goddamn infomercial on anything?
I don't think you realize when you saw hair magically come out of nowhere.
You didn't see any hair come out of a can, pal.
Harper, did it look like hair was growing out of their head when they sprayed that bullshit?
You see, what they would do is they would spray the shit on the few hair that you have. And it would kind of be like if it was a skeleton and you threw fucking meat on it. That's basically what the spray was.
Meat on a skeleton. Okay.
I wish I knew the name of that product.
Okay, I got it. I got it.
Had to give people fucking cancer.
Oh, so this was by Ronco. Ronco did all that stuff.
He would do like the
chicken. He would do like the chicken
grill thing.
Yeah, you could put it like a whole chicken in there and cook it, and it'd be like better than KFC or some shit. I see this. Well, can you imagine how fast the cancer started growing after you sprayed that?
That's what I'm saying, dude. What the fuck? Spraying paint on your head.
Like your brain cells were just going, Jesus Christ, come on. You're an idiot to begin with, and now we've got to fight cancer.
And now you're a fucking insecure fucking idiot.
Jesus, yeah, okay. So
The dude's brain cells were saying, you know what, motherfucker, if you want to end it, just hang yourself. It's a lot quicker for all of us.
we're being a drag on the health insurance system. Jesus Christ, yeah. So anyway, I wouldn't say that this is that bad because we do like wrestling and we got a big card coming up. Maybe you should run down the card for us here, Mike.
Run down the card?
Yeah, for the upcoming Night of Fire on the Mountain
Well,
Legends.
I really wasn't prepared to run down the card, so give me a second and I'll get to it. How's that sound, Pumpkin?
Pumpkin.
Yeah, Pumpkin. I knew that would sit well with your loins, so I figured that's why I'd say it.
So well with my loins. Are you high?
So
have you been smoking the tweeds?
Here's the card, and then we'll get to a couple of promos in this thing. The card is for Night of Legends, and we'll go over the results when we cover Night of Legends. But anyway, Chris Walker versus Richard Slinger. Don't ask me about that. We'll learn more about
No. We need to talk about this.
No, we don't. I'm not wasting time on this right now. We're going to talk about this during the Night of Legends card.
It's Conan Chris Walker.
Yeah.
We're going to talk about...
Harper, I'm not listening to you. Harper, Corny talked about this on a recent drive-thru. Like, he talked about Chris Walker and how...
Doc, why are we going to talk about this when he cuts a promo in the next episode or two and we can talk about it then?
Well, first of all, he doesn't cut a promo next week. Corny cuts one for him.
You know what I fucking meant. We're getting into semantics now, asshole.
And second of all, because I care about at least, at very bare minimum, I care about the Docaholics. If we're going to have a 12-minute episode, why do this shit? You're thinking about getting... See, here's the problem. You're thinking about how little we can do so that you can get back to whatever it is you do during the day and not have to do this. I'm thinking about the fact
we're cutting two more episodes after this.
I'm thinking about the people who waited all week to download this particular episode, and you drop a 12-minute turd on them. They're disappointed.
Why don't you let me actually get through the card, and then you can make your Conan Chris Walker fucking reference, so I can at least get through the card.
Did you say Richard Slinger? So he's a dick slinger?
Yeah, dick slinger. Yes, that had to
be. Come on.
Look up.
He ought to be a tag team with Juicy Johnny.
That's where I was going. Yeah. Okay. Can I keep going with the card?
Yeah.
Doug Furnace versus Killer Kyle. Bob Orton Jr., Dick Slater versus Mongolian Stomper and Ronnie Garvin. Rock and Roll Express versus Chris Candido and Brian Lee. There's a Legends introduction and awards. You know, Ron Wright, Don Wright, Boris Malenko. Well, Boris Malenko wasn't there. Ricky Gibson, Ron Garvin, Doug Furnace, Phil Hickerson. Tons of people that they give awards to. Les Thatcher. Just to name a few. Chris Jericho and Lance Storm versus the Heavenly Bodies. And oh my God, just wait till we cover that, because good God. And then you had Dirty White Boy versus Terry Gordy. And then you had Bob Armstrong, Tracy Smothers, and Road Warrior Hawk versus Bruiser Bedlam, Dory, and Terry Funk in a Coward Waves flag match. And that's the card, and it drew a lot of people. Anyway, make your Conan Chris Walker reference now.
I forgot, but I do believe that this is the episode or the show where Gordy was so bad that they didn't show it on TV. Like embarrassingly bad, like, oh shit, dude.
I gotta look at my...
In the ring?
Yeah, because he had the stroke, so he was like not doing well at all.
Oh.
And so it was like they kind of protected him here by not releasing that out on the free TV afterwards because it wasn't good. Brian Lass has told stories about that because I think he was there and he was like it was tough to watch because Gordy was so. I mean we've nailed that point ad nauseum on the show about just how agile and awesome and badass and he was, and just to watch a guy out there just kind of basically sleepwalking through a match.
That sucks.
Yeah, stay away from drugs, kids. Give them to me.
He told it when he was on our show. I think it's like episode 3 of Smoky Mountain Wrestling. He told the Gordy story from that night because he was there. The other thing too is I think I got footage of this match. I think Tommy Noe gave it to me. Like I could, we could do a watch along to it if y'all wanted to. But
why would you want to do that if I just told you what it is? What kind of perverted asshole are you that you want to see a legend in the sport just a shell of themselves?
Oh, now you're playing babyface today.
Am I supposed to
playing babyface?
Am I supposed to watch this and in your words play heel or some shit?
Now you
What
playing
kind of shit
babyface.
is that?
Now you playing
Dick.
babyface. That's good.
Come on, Doc. Come on, Doc. Come on, Harper. Make fun of the retard.
No, nobody
That's the
said
kind
that.
of shit you do all the time.
All right, so this is the same guy about a month ago on the NWA show started mocking people with Down syndrome. So before you get
Whoa.
mad at me because he decides to cut a promo, just remember he's the guy who made fun of people with Down syndrome. So fuck
That's
you.
fucked up.
Your little shtick right here ain't working with your bullshit talking about I want to make fun of it. I just was saying I could share it with y'all. But you know what? Fuck you and the horse you rode in on.
Here, let me share my herpes with you.
Yeah. The slow cooker.
That was funny.
Y'all are some dirty bastards.
What I do.
Dirty bastards. All right.
You may not have told the joke, but you laughed at it, Harper.
Sure the fuck did. Sure the fuck did. All right. So I'll tell you what. So basically, again, this is a big old infomercial commercial for the big card coming up on August the 5th, Night of Legends. I didn't take many notes from it. There's a few new promos in here, not a few new. There's a bunch of recaps. Oh dear God, the recaps in this thing, all over the place. So that's why I said it's more of a commercial, because they recap just for, the sake of knowing what happened. They recap the whole Morton, Candido, Tammy, Primetime, Brian Lee saga that's going on. They recap Bullet Bob getting bloodied a month ago or so, along with Armstrong, Tracy, Ron Wright, Cornette, Bedlam, and that whole match that's going to take place. So just tons of fucking recaps in this thing. With that said, Harper pointed out there's a Gordy promo at the beginning. So for the sake of just saying we played a couple, here is Gordy leading into Night of Legends against Dirty White Boy.
I know a lot of you people out there don't know who I am, but you're going to know when I get through with that Dirty White Boy right there in Knoxville, Tennessee, August the 5th. And Dirty White Girl, you stick your nose in there, and I'll slap you too.
All right, we're back with our special edition of Smoky Mountain Wrestling.
That was quick. Anyway, Harper,
Yeah.
you were saying about the background or something with Gordy there before I played it.
Yeah, it was the Boulevard of Broken Dreams poster. That was big back then. Every asshole had that on their fucking bedroom wall.
Every asshole, huh?
Yeah.
Doc, do you want to talk about the Boulevard of Broken Dreams poster too?
I just remember the song by Hanoi Rocks in the mid '80s. I always liked that jam.
You like them, Mike?
I have no clue what's being discussed here. No.
Hanoi Rocks was kind of interesting because they were kind of a glam metal band, but they were really kind of a precursor to Guns N' Roses, and then Vince Neil from Motley Crue killed their drummer.
Yeah. With a buck
really
knife.
killed their drummer?
Yeah.
They were out partying for like 3 days up in the hills of Los Angeles and decided to make a beer run at like 10 o'clock in the morning. And Vince, after 3 days up, the singer from Motley Crue had this big wreck, and just his passenger didn't survive.
Oh, so he didn't really kill him. You're saying?
Well,
he
he died because he got in the car with that guy.
He didn't do some Sopranos shit where he just whacked the guy with a gun and just walked up to him, bang, bang, shot him in the head and ran off.
Right.
Okay. Well, so, you gotta clarify, because when you say
I didn't say that. Harper said he killed him with a buck knife, which didn't help.
Well, that's my point.
Harper, well, get him out of Harper, not me. I was going to give factual information, but Harper's over there. Next is going to be flat Earth and fluoride.
Fucking fluoride's gonna kill you, dog.
Harper goes to the grocery store, the pharmacy, and he goes, "Y'all got any fluoride-free toothpaste?"
They have that. Like Trader Joe's and shit. It's the fluoride-free toothpaste, because if you use fluoride, you're gonna die.
Is Trader Joe's kind of like I've never been in there. My wife goes in there every now and then for bullshit, but is it kind of like Whole Foods or something?
Yeah, it's that kind of person.
That kind of person.
Yeah.
All I know is when you walk in places like that, you walk out with like 3 items and you spend $80.
Exactly.
So you said that people who use fluoride are going to die. What happens to people who don't use fluoride?
Exactly. Stupid.
Okay, let's keep it moving. So again, lots of recaps. I'll go through it real quick. They go, Cornette, Heavenly Bodies cut a promo building up to their match with the Thrill Seekers, who cut a promo. They recap, like I said, Morton, Candido, Tammy, and Primetime Brian Lee. There's some more Rock and Roll Express, Tammy, Brian Lee, and Candido promos. Just a bunch of stuff. Now, one of the things that was cool in this video, or this episode, was they do a Night of Legends plug with Les Thatcher. So they mentioned Joe LeDuc, Boris Malenko, right there. They talk about Ron Fuller, wishing he could be there. Phil Hickerson is mentioned, as I said earlier. They basically just run down and kind of like throw all the names out, the legends that'll be there at the ceremony. Like I said, Ron Fuller's not going to be there. I'm curious as to what happened with that, because Les stresses that they wish he could make it, but he evidently can't. So, and then they show that magnificent Knoxville clip of Ron Wright again from the 70s. That was fantastic, where they tear the set up and Ron just a runaway train, which I thought was kind of cool. We saw that a couple weeks back though. So let me get now to the Hawk promo, because I think that's one of the new things that we hadn't seen. Because I mean, they really did show a lot of recaps in this episode, tons of them, which was cool. I mean, we got the Ron Wright stuff, which I like that, but still. Here it is. Actually, here it's not is. I got to get a little further.
What?
What?
I said here it not is. YouTube's running a little slow, y'all, just so you know.
Why? Fix it.
It was just clocking. I'm getting to it.
Yeah.
There it is.
All right, so my prayers have been answered, Cornette. August 5th and 6th, they call it Double Trouble. Me and Tracy Smothers and Bad Bob Armstrong, yeah, we'll be there against Bruiser Bedlam and the Funk Brothers. Well, that's funkin' just great by me. Let me tell you something, Cornette. Smothers and Armstrong, you're ganging up on them all sorts of ways. Well, they know who to call out, don't they? They just look up 1-800-SICKO-HEAD. That's me. They call me up. They tell me they'll just want me to come in town to take care of a little beating. Little pure, unadulterated beating.
It's this coming.
All right, so that was Hawk. I don't know, Doc, any thoughts? Or keep it rolling?
If Hawk has said he's coming down to start beating ass, I'd be worried.
I don't know if y'all noticed. He's got like
What?
a serious cut. I mean, I know y'all didn't see
Yeah, I
this one.
saw that.
On his left arm? God.
Yeah.
I mean, he looks like a hunk of meat is missing. I don't know. It's just, I'm like, what the fuck did he do? Did he, it's just weird.
Japan.
Yeah.
Oh, there was some crazy stuff there. Yeah. All right. So they then go to another Dory and Terry Funk one. Actually, it's all four of them. Dory, Terry, Corny, Bedlam, bunch of stuff. And then I will play this. This is the last thing that they do. One of the last things they do before the episode ends is Corny's out there, and this is his last plug for Night of Legends to all the Smoky Mountain fans. Here it is.
Mountain Wrestling is really being too charitable again. They're giving everybody everything. There's that Golden Circle party where all the fans that buy the Golden Circle tickets, they get to come and meet all the legends and get free food and drinks and get their autograph and all that stuff. You can see all those matches. You get to see the Hall of Fame inductions, not to mention Fire on the Mountain next Saturday night, because if you take your Night of Legends ticket stub to Fire on the Mountain in Johnson City Saturday night, you get $2 off any ticket for Fire on the Mountain. I think they're being way too charitable. But I guarantee you this right now. And I want anybody within the sound of my voice that has ever watched a wrestling match to understand this. This is something that only happens once. The Night of Legends. You know, they say you can't go home again. They say you can't turn back time. But for one night, Smoky Mountain Wrestling is doing just that. Bringing the glory years back. Because traditions never die. And memories don't fade away. And everybody out there either grew up watching these guys or heard their parents talk about them. And now may be the last time that you get a chance to see them all in one place at one time. And besides that, Jim Cornette being a wrestling fan, Jim Cornette being the greatest manager of all time, and Jim Cornette having the greatest assemblage of wrestling talent ever put together by any manager, I want this to be the biggest event ever, the Night of the Legends, Friday night. Because I'm going to be running the thing. I'm going to be ruling Smoky Mountain Wrestling with the Funk Brothers, the Heavenly Bodies, Bruiser Bedlam, Killer Kyle, and anybody else that joins my union. So this Friday night, you owe it to yourself. You owe it to your memories. You owe it to your childhood. And most of all, you owe it to your family. Bring them down there, because you ain't never going to see nothing like this again. The Night of Legends. Not only the old legends, but the ones that are fixing to be.
And we hope you've enjoyed this special Legends Smoky Mountain special. And this is Les Thatcher for Jim Cornette saying, Jim, thanks for letting me hold your mic, and it's been a pleasure working with you.
See you Friday.
Wow, it is a fucking infomercial.
That's what I'm saying. It's exactly what it is. The whole episode was, if you haven't been watching this promotion for the last month, what they did was they showed the major moments from the last 4 weeks, and they showed some new promos where the guys repeated themselves. And at the very end, and at the very, very end of it, Cornette cuts that. And then after Cornette cuts that, they show this video package with Glory Days playing in the background, where you see every single picture and newspaper clipping of every quote unquote legend or wrestler who ever wrestled in the area. And that's how they go off air. It's an infomercial. There's no other way to put it. So, yeah.
Glory Days.
Who sang Glory Days?
Oh, Jesus Christ.
I knew that was him going. Who's
George Michaels.
No,
I thought you were going to say George Thorogood.
Who is that? Glory Days.
Duran Duran.
Oh, come on.
Flock of Seagulls.
I know better than that.
Air Supply.
Aerosmith.
They just showed a picture of Robert Gibson is scrolling on my screen right now. And I'll be damned if he didn't have two good eyes back then.
Did he?
Bullshit.
Look like
right.
it.
It's probably like a CGI or something.
You said YouTube's going slow, so maybe it just makes it look like that.
It slowed up so much it corrected the slow eye.
Right. It's like a rainbow. It's not real, but it's there. I mean,
Doc, they show a 30-year-old pic of Sandy Scott in this end of it. Man, Sandy Scott was young once. He actually looked young, man.
What interesting philosophy that old people were once young.
That's crazy.
I don't know. We always talk
except for
about
Bob Caudle and
right.
Dude, I watched a 1985 Mid-Atlantic episode on the network last night. Bob Caudle was exact same as in Smoky Mountain, and then let's go to the ring, and I was like, damn, dude, you were exactly the same at all points of your life.
Never changed.
Fucking Groundhog Day, man. So imagine you're I don't know, 12, 10, 9, 15, whatever it is, and you're a Smoky Mountain diehard fan. You live in the Smoky Mountains, so like Mike said about y'all people earlier, y'all don't have a lot of options for TV, so Smoky Mountain delivers you from all of this despair once a week, and then you turn it on, kind of slide down your pants, get ready to kind of watch some wrestling, and with a little Woody on.
You hoping to see Tammy.
Right, and then this episode, because we've all had those recap episodes when we were kids, and you're like, "Damn, man!"
Yeah.
I don't think it was as bad as you're saying, though.
No, I don't know. Man. I hated recaps. Even Little Doc hated recaps. Man, come on.
I doubt that to be true. I doubt that to be true.
Fuck that.
Harper, come on. One time you said that, I forgot what it was, but there was some wrestling tape you had. And it was like you just watched that tape over and over and over.
That's true.
Over again.
It was the fucking know that I had the WWF VCR fucking board game.
Right.
I used to watch that video all fucking day long because it was the only fucking wrestling. That's all I had until next week. So I would just watch it over and over and over again.
That's what I'm saying, Doc. So like these people, not just these people, we were like that. We were like, you missed that hour of wrestling. There's no YouTube. There's no digital fucking platform to go find it. You had to wait a week, so they were starving for it, man.
I remember sitting around the house like, how much more hours I got? All right, 3 more hours. Fuck, okay.
Or he was on his big wheel outside, and his mama came on the porch and said, "Wrestling's on." Anyway,
remember those days?
And instead of pedaling your big wheel up to the house, you just got off and ran and left your big wheel sitting there in the middle of the fucking street. Why didn't you ride it over here? Oh.
He's laughing because that's what he did.
I remember my friend's mom, she was always come out and said, Alpha's about to come on. Are you go inside?
Alpha's some white people shit.
Yeah.
I kind of used to watch that a little.
Alpha's some black people shit.
Okay, Doc.
With his nose was like a dick.
With a mole on it?
Yeah.
That's nice. All right, what else we got on this episode?
Nothing.
Yeah, I kind of feel the same way. Doc, what about you?
I feel bad for everybody who downloaded this shit waiting for something big to happen. I feel like, it's not our fault.
No, I mean
we're up at 7:00 in the morning on a weekday recording this shit. We care.
Did y'all Google garfish?
I didn't have to.
I didn't have to. We learned everything about it that we could on the NWA show about 3 weeks ago.
I told me and Mrs. Doc were driving down the road. I told her to Google it because she didn't know what the fuck one was. She was like, "What the fuck is this?" I was like,
y'all got garfish.
She ain't out at no lake fishing.
I don't know, man. I haven't seen one here, but I haven't been out on the lakes fishing around here either.
Yeah.
All right, Doc, anything else before we wrap this thing up?
2.2.
I'm not even rating it. I mean, it's a recap show.
Who gets the government cheese?
Us.
There you go. Smartest thing that dumbass said all day. We get it.
Now, so what I will tell you is, here, let me do a little bit of infomercial myself. If this has been just a fart in church or just, I don't know, can't get it up when you got the broad all naked, let me just tell you, next week is all the way live. So we'll be back in living color next week. It's going to be all that and a little bit more because it's a great episode next week. And we're going to be back to our normal presentation. Everything will be fine. If you're freaking out here, you think about canceling your patronage, don't. We'll be all right. Just settle down.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Michael?
I muted myself because I didn't want to cut a promo on you.
Why?
Cut a promo on me. I don't care. No. Everybody needs a good laugh.
Why you scared?
No. I'm not going to do it. But what I am going to do is I'm going to...
I'm going to no-sell.
Let me tell you something. Every now and then, that broad pops into my mind that you're making fun of right now, and it is the funniest shit on the planet.
That bitch was so uptight, man. Can you imagine trying to slip a dick in that? You'd had to have a sledgehammer and a crowbar to pry that slit open.
Who?
Am I wrong?
It just was like, she was one of them people in this world where everything had to line up perfectly. I don't know how. I mean, I don't even know how to articulate this person because that's how pathetic. Like she was too smart for her own good. Or thought she was too smart for her own good. And it
educated.
Just was...
I tell you this all the time, and I'm the most of both here. Smart and educated aren't the same thing.
Yeah.
Doc was just joking. We were talking about... Were we talking about Dez slapping his mama?
Something like
arrested,
that. Or his mama was a prostitute. What's he supposed to do? That's what you do to whores.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Right.
Anyway... So Doc is telling this, he's trying to make fun, but he's really not, because he kind of feels this way, but at the same time, I mean, he didn't, basically, let's just say Des slapped his mom, And Doc's like, I don't, and he out loud goes, I don't care if he slapped his mama or not. That ain't got nothing to do with him scoring touchdowns on Sunday for my team. And this broad goes, huh! Because she's so offended.
She clutched her pearls, dude.
That's nice.
She's like, huh? What do you mean? You don't care if he slaps his mama? And Doc's like, I don't give a shit. He can do whatever he wants to do. As long as he scores touchdowns and doesn't kill someone, he can do whatever he wants to do. I'm not asking him to babysit my kid. I'm asking him to go catch passes and score touchdowns for the Cowboys on Sunday. And she goes,
if he's my kid's hero, then we've got a bigger problem than him slapping his mom. So what's the fuck, dude?
She rolled her eyes.
If we eliminated all the ne'er-do-wells and the heels out of professional football, it'd be a bunch of white dudes running 5-second 40s, and this shit would be boring.
Yeah, really.
We need Mike's people. We accept their criminal nature into the NFL so that we can have fun on Sunday afternoons.
That's nice. You know,
really nice. Yeah. All right.
They can't help it.
Hey, real quick.
They can't help it. Oh, no.
Before we get out of here, since you want to be so funny, and it's a fucking work, people, calm down. You don't mean that. Go to tinyurl.com/PatreonBTT to get not only the video reviews of these episodes, but all our patron content, including one we're supposed to do today where we talk about Stan Lane, how he broke into the wrestling business, and how he met Ric Flair, which is a fascinating story. But you also get the world-class review shows. You'll get the Dallas Cowboy Ring Rat House episode. Lots of good stuff. Over 150 episodes are up at patreon.com. So just go to tinyurl.com/PatreonBTT. Also, don't forget to use the Amazon referral link. It's tinyurl.com/BTTAmazon. Great way to support this show on an ongoing basis. And then lastly, I want to shout out the Wrestling Podcast About Nothing with ROH's Brian Malonis and Mike Crockett. They do their show every single Monday. They do a lot of classic stuff, a lot of current stuff as well. So check them out. And then check out our Vantage Point, the Retro Wrestling Podcast with Joe Murata and Michael Quinn every single Monday as well, as they give their take on the northern side of pro wrestling's history, slightly classier, a little bit more professional, but they support us, so please support them. And that's all I got. Harper, why don't you hit the tagline and you can get us out of here and we can go home.
Book a bitch.
Thanks as always for listening to all of our shows, the Thursday Night NWA show, the Sunday Night Smoky Mountain show, and whatever else we put up. And then special shout out to the patrons out there who support this show that make it possible each and every week, twice per week. And lastly, I want to give some thanks to all the Hall of Fame patrons out there for their Hall of Fame contributions. So thank you very much. So shout out to Everett Starr, Mike Childry, K_Row86, Disrespectfully Classy Marky Blassie, Jeffrey, Craig Norman, Johnny on Patreon, the great John Dean at YRC21, Josh Dunn, at Ryan in Auburn, good old Justin, Robert Smith, Joseph Ice, Tim Morecci, the official BTT Research Department, Tim Morecci, Adam Price, Brian Evans, Mark Wilson, Armando Martinez, David Jordan, Jesse Jacobs, Josh Fields, Chris Myers, Gerald Green III, Mitchell Johnson, Mike Prue, Will Parker, Jeremy Bryant, Classy Alex, Slider91 US, David DeVries, Frog Zeppelin, SV Pageant, Bill Salsa, Big Rich, at Spyboy Sports Cap, R.E. Miller 39, Dustin Roberts, Jay Shiny, Ruben Espinoza, Merciless Jones, Jesse Lucas, Chris Browning, Justin Andretti, Coleman 822, Marty Howe, T-Hog 94, Godbold Unreal. Thank you all for being Hall of Fame patrons. We greatly appreciate it. And before I get out of here, check out the Bottom Line Wrestling Cast with Mike Prue and his buddy JV as they break down the career of Stone Cold Steve Austin month by month on a weekly basis. I forget where they are exactly right now, but you can go into their archives and listen and go back and check out. I think they start in like 1996, and I believe they're up to 98 as of me recording this. So dive in and enjoy their new episodes. They release them on Wednesday mornings. They're available on most platforms, including iTunes, Stitcher, Spotify, Podbean, and Google Play. And you can also find them on Twitter at BottomLineCast. That's all I have. Thanks again, everyone, for all of your support. And we appreciate it. And I'm going to get out of here. Book it, bitch.